Is the sheep preaching hate when it says, I'm not going to let the wolf eat me anymore? If the wolf comes in here, next time he comes in here, I'll do whatever I have to do to keep him off my back. Is the sheep violent or is the wolf the violent one? He wasn't teaching hate, he was teaching common sense. You know, somebody's knocking you over the head, stop him. Do whatever you have to do to stop him. You know, the ones that were knocking him over the head were afraid of the fact that he might swing back, so they said, no, he's teaching hate, he's violent.
Let me blow this up a little bit. Zoom in here. So let's go ahead and get into this thing. I don't know why it won't move, but we're gonna leave it alone. Let's see what we got. So I want to make it a bit fuller for y'all. Come on, man. Whatever reason, I don't want to be fuller. Here we go. Here we go, guys. Hopefully that helps. Now let's go ahead and get into this thing, right?
You don't abide by them, you're barbaric and you're not
progressive, and they are happy to cancel out entire continents. The whole of Africa is barbaric, the whole of Asia is barbaric. Why? Because you decide the moral, and that's just horrendous. I was so insulted by the reaction to Qatar and the LGBT. I was so deeply insulted, and I couldn't understand how unbelievably racist it was. The idea that white people determine what is progressive, and if they're not on our side, we are just barbaric. Anyone that agrees with that stance is just a racist. There's no two ways about it. Do we have a guest?
I'm not sure. You can open. My point back into that is I feel we've got a guest was going live.
Yeah,
so let's have your opinions on this man. Andrew Lubna.
Nice to meet you.
Hi. Sorry, I got overexcited, didn't I? You caught me all excited. How are you?
Now you can go into this conversation more.
Okay,
I didn't want to tell him this is purely unplanned.
Yeah, we were actually supposed to meet today, but we couldn't get it all sorted. But we made it in the end. Praise be to God, we got it.
That's right.
We got it.
Fate.
As you walked in, we were just discussing how women tend to become OnlyFans. They push this agenda rather than the mother, the wife, the nice housewife, or a woman to become an engineer. Lubna was saying, I believe truly it's women's fault. They blame men, but women are giving them in. They're making it easy on them.
Can I say something? I really have a message to all the young girls out there. Okay, it's not about, let's not do the blame game, because it's not going to do anything for anyone. It's, you've got the power. Okay, this is your life. You've got the power. My mother always told me that the man is the head and the woman is the neck. You can be smart, you can be educated.
We were actually supposed to meet today, but we couldn't get it all sorted. But we made it in the end. Praise be to God, we got it in the end.
That's right.
You caught me all excited. How are you?
Now you can go into this conversation more.
Okay,
I didn't want to tell him this is purely unplanned.
Yeah, we were actually supposed to meet today, but we couldn't get it all sorted. But we made it in the end. Praise be to God, we got it in the end.
That's right.
We got it.
Fate.
As you walked in, we were just discussing how women tend to become OnlyFans. They push this agenda rather than the mother, the wife, the nice housewife, or a woman to become an engineer. Lubna was saying, I believe truly it's women's fault. They blame men.
Hold on. Before he gets into this, Andrew Tate, of course, has made some remarks and has gendered a lot of, I guess, scrutiny. You know what I mean? Using the word, the Nigger word, hard ER, big hard on the ER, y'all. And he's gendered a lot of whatever backlash, but the man's half black, yo. Like, his father's black, he's black. You know what I'm saying? His father's a black man. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand what the problem is, you know. But my thing is that guys who's like Andrew Tate and looks like Andrew Tate, who looks sort of European morally than he does like myself, like with melanated or black features. They can get away with saying that shit, right? And still kind of blend in with other cultures. You know what I'm saying? Because their father is a black man. He is a melanated man. You know what I mean? So, I mean, if you can be a chameleon in that way, man, use it to your advantage. But If Ludacris can say it, if other mulatto people like fucking Drake can say it, then I don't see what the hell we talking about when it comes to him. I think they just trying to find anything. Let's get to it.
Men, but women are giving them in. They're making it easy on them.
Can I say something? I really have a message to all the young girls out there. Okay, it's not about, let's not do the blame game, because it's not going to do anything for anyone. It's, you've got the power. Okay, this is your life. You've got the power. My mother always told me that the man is the head and the woman is the neck. You can be smart, you can be educated. Don't waste your time. Don't take away your power by just going on Instagram, being an influencer, not doing anything with your life. And don't play the victim. Be nobody's victim. You know what I mean? That's That's my thought.
And I was a bit more. It's also the men's fault because they invest in these.
It's always the men's fault, isn't it?
I would say.
Wallah. Doesn't mean it's the all truth, yeah.
It's a societal issue. If I'm a girl and if I'm a vulnerable 15-year-old girl with no money and I can either go to school and get a long education, or there's a guy that's going to pay for my flights and my rent, if I just post a thirst trap, you're speaking to vulnerable people, not just educated people in society.
Yes, but you have a choice. Do you die screaming like a little girl, or do you die with dignity?
Can I just intercept with one thing? You made a good point about 5 minutes back. You did say you go to like Jordan, Israel, Afghanistan, or India, or some religion. The women are poor. They have nothing. Maybe no fathers have been killed. They have nothing. Yet you don't see them act that way.
But they have a different form of what.
You know, that's a like.
Different form of that. They marry, even if a guy's 20 years older than him, they'll marry into him when she's 15 years old because they're in survival mode. So I think what we're neglecting is if men stop investing in these girls, these OnlyFans girls, and start investing in the good girls, there's more motivation to be good. But if I was a 14-year-old in this day and age, I'd be like, I'm just going to work out and get a BBL and get a shortcut.
It's valid. It's a good point.
But society's degenerate. It's not men and women. Society's degenerate. It depends on what part of the world, of course, as well. But especially in the Western world, there are such benefits for degeneracy, and there's no stigma against it. There's none.
That's facts. To be a degenerate in the U.S., man, listen, you're gonna be a millionaire. All you gotta do is be retarded as shit, right? And drool from the mouth, and you get millions of dollars just thrown in your lap. Rather than hard-working individuals like myself and many others who go out here and grind and actually have skills and talents. You just gotta work harder. But just you go out here and start drooling from the mouth and you retarded as shit, then you're gonna make millions in the US, yo.
None of the stigma, even the things you're discussing and talking about, I agree with you completely. But a lot of these girls don't feel.
I just can't be that fake to be retarded. You know what I mean? I can't fake it that tough.
Feel any shame. They don't feel any ounce of shame.
And it's a job. It's no different to a job. We've normalized it to the point where it just feels like a job for these women. And I think that when I was saying to them when I was younger and before, if you were known as, in my culture, Pakistani, you grew up in Luton, and so, if I even walked into a restaurant with a boy, it would be like, oh my God, she's such a slag. Like straight away I'd get a label and I wouldn't be able to get married. But now these girls are getting married to rappers. They're having kids with rappers. The strippers.
Yo, she's absolutely right. Like, it's changed so much because you'd be looked at as a floozy. They'll be like, you walk down the street and they'll be hollering at you fast ass. Like, as a young lady who's hanging around with boys too much or too often. Fast ass. You'd be called all kind of crazy names. Nowadays, you get locked up calling somebody fast ass. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of crazy. And they'll be more likely to encourage her to get out here and be a slut, so like Sexy Red and all them,
Getting married. So what motivation is left for young women when men are dropping their standards in terms of promiscuity? They don't mind a promiscuous woman anymore.
I don't think men are ever going to stop wanting to see bikini pictures. You know what I mean? It's not going to change. That's why I'm saying it's up to us. Like I'm saying, we really need to make the effort because we are the mothers. You know what I mean? I just feel like we're taking away from.
Look, I know I keep stopping this video, but listen, they're hitting on so many different points. I recently posted or made a post on TikTok not too long ago, and the women came out the woodworks for me, man, saying all kind of crazy shit. Like, all I said was women should hold each other accountable when they're doing some crazy ass shit out here in this world, right? That they should hold each other accountable. And they're like, well, why don't you mind your business? I'm like, damn, listen, but it takes men to encourage other women to hold each other accountable, because y'all not gonna do it on your own. So let's just be honest, right? You know, it takes men who's supposed to defend your ideology and beliefs to tell you, like, hey, you probably should check each other when y'all out of line. So, but she's stating that right now, we should hold each other accountable. Great point.
From our power. And I agree with you in what you're saying, because yes, a lot of girls don't have opportunities, X and Y. That's why I think it's all about education.
Yeah.
You know, you find a lot of wrong things going on in society, mostly in the poorer areas as well. So it is really all about education, I think.
Yeah, but I do think that's a privilege.
I think the term is, like Andrew's mentioned before on podcast, godless. Godless society.
There's a huge split. What we're discussing here is not universal.
Hello! If you are watching this video, you're looking for ways to increase your website.
Skip that.
Across the planet, right? Yeah. The things we're discussing here, the idea of women, like you're saying, having a reputation and promiscuity being frowned upon, all those things make perfect sense here. The idea of a woman sticking to education and not getting a bad reputation and working hard, that makes sense here. But in Miami, it's godless. It's a godless city.
If I don't believe in God, praise be to God, I do. But if I didn't have the idea that God's watching me, what motivation as a young girl with a great body and great looks would I have to go the long route to getting success when there's a man willing to pay me 2-3 grand just for a feet pick?
Well, I think
you know, so why don't we address the men in not being?
But are we all going to be sheep?
Women?
Like, for example, and a lot of people say he has money, he has it all. Why would you become Muslim when you have everything? Why would he want to limit himself in a way? So surely God's given us brains or ways to think. What is life about? What's the purpose?
It's not just God watching, but it's not just as God watching. Oh, I'm going to go to hell. You know what I mean? I think it goes beyond that. I mean, you still have a brain. God created you with a brain. You should still have principles without that. But I think even when it comes to, yes, education is a privilege, but nowadays the real influence is on social media. And any kid in Gaza, there's an amazing rapper in Gaza, God bless him, like, he's on social media, he's an influencer, you know what I mean? Even if a kid in Gaza has access to social media, then we can have influence. That's why we need more women role models.
Yeah, definitely need that.
And then the influencers will also become less and less, because girls will see, well, you know what, I do have another chance, I do have another option.
Yeah.
But it's just, I think the broader question is, I'd like to ask you two very intelligent ladies, why do you think society is trying to program women to act this way? Because I believe society is trying to, especially in the West, it's trying very hard. We're talking about the advantages of a girl doing OnlyFans, for example. Yes, her life can improve. But the broader question is, why is all the culture, all of society, the matrix as a whole, trying to destroy the baseline morality of humans, men?
Let me answer that before they do. The reason why they're trying to destroy the family structure as a whole is the reason why I promote people to find a family and build and grow with that family. It's the opposite of what they would want. The reason why it's still illegal for you to be a polygamist in this country is because the sheer strength and power that comes from unity in families. They want you to struggle. It's the reason why banks don't allow you to do credit repair. They don't want you doing credit repair because they don't want people to have good credit. Same reason why schools don't teach children about credit utilization, how to balance a checkbook. I remember back when, a long time ago, they used to teach you how to sign and write your own checks. They don't do that anymore, as far as I know. You know what I mean? They don't do that anymore. These are the reasons why. They don't want you to truly be successful, productive adults. They want you to be slaves. They want you to be corporate entities and just capital for collateral. How and why? Because when they take out trillions of dollars on your name, on the books, with your social, with your birth certificate, they don't care about if you're going to be successful in life or not. Only thing they care about is they can be able to use you for collateral. If they can't use your collateral, then you're worthless to them. You understand what I'm saying? This is the reason why. And the stronger families are, the less control they have. That's the reason why I'm telling you, when you walk outside and step outside, you look to your left and right and you see your neighbors and you don't say hi, it's because it's systematically designed for you to be individuals. You're supposed to be individualized. Same thing with women. You're supposed to have a sense of attachment to one man, right? My man, my man, my man, my man. That's how you should feel. That's how they want you to feel. Rather than being somebody who's open to sharing and being a part of another family to build and grow a legacy, right? That would strengthen the family structure. You choose to isolate. That's your choice. That's the choice you would make. And that's the choice they designed you to make. Through Disney, they designed you to make that choice, right? Through music, they designed you to make that choice. But they also designed for you to be unsuccessful in that choice that you've made to be monogamous. Through music, through influence, right? Through not understanding your man, that he may not be a monogamous man at all. Most men are usually quite polygamous. So it's all systematically designed to destroy a family structure because it's too much of a threat when you have a successful tribe of family, right? And you got little ones that's going to grow up to be even stronger men and women that could possibly overcome a nation. Just ask the 12 tribes, right? We keep going back to that, but let's see what they got to say about it.
And women, because they're trying to convince men not to be men. Everything that was traditionally masculine, everything I've said has got me canceled. They tried to ruin my life for saying a man should be a man. And if you say a woman should be a woman and she should protect herself and protect her access to herself, and she should not allow men to just view her naked, etc., then you're somehow demonized. And they want to put Cardi B in place instead, where she's saying that everything that a woman can get naked and that's fantastic, and anyone who disagrees with it is it slut shaming? Is that called a thing?
Shaming.
So why is society doing this to men and women? That's the real question.
Well, I think if you're breaking down the home, the best and quickest way to do that is attacking the woman. And there's more money in lonely, sad women. We consume everything. So if I get to a certain age and I'm not married, I'm going to be more likely to be on prescription drugs. I'm going to be more likely to turn to surgery. I'm going to be...
That's right. Surgery, prescription drugs, invest in pet food. And make sure that you are selling some good pet items, because listen, these dogs gonna have to stay warm with their cute little sweaters. So everybody who do crocheting and knitting out there, start knitting dog sweaters and crocheting dog sweaters and cats, things like that, because them things is gonna be flying off the shelves. They're gonna be so lonely, man. They've been focused on career, they've been focused on the bag, they've been focused on going to Dubai, and being portal potties. They've been focused on everything else but being a family woman, then being a mother. You know what I'm saying? Matters what they're designed for biologically. So, and listen, these ladies are on point. This is a great panel of people to put them in, and listen. If you ain't getting nothing from this conversation, you must be base-minded. You must be an idiot. Like, you got to really open up your mind and listen to what's going on, because this is what society is facing on a daily basis. That's what problems are. You know what I'm saying? So to reverse it, open your mind up. Be more open-minded. Receive information. Don't be so closed-minded, right?
More likely to just indulge, whereas when you have a purpose, those things all take a back burner. So that's why I think it's completely designed to make more money and to destroy the home and make people dependent on then your God becomes social media. When you don't have a God and you don't have a stable home, your God becomes society. The laws determine your morality, and the quicker they can get you to believe that God doesn't exist and the law is your source of morality, the quicker they can control you.
I think there's definitely an agenda for sure. Absolutely, 100%. But I think the only way to fight it is to stick to, to have discipline, to not follow, last year I made a decision. I went on my Instagram. I was like, okay, I myself am following some influencers. So I was like, unfollow. Yeah. Just be more aware of your lifestyle and your surroundings and your friends and what you're consuming on Netflix. You know what I mean?
Do you guys follow girls on Instagram?
No, they fixed that for me. By deleting me from the platform.
You haven't. He only has MySpace.
MySpace.com. That's what
Honestly,
bringing back MySpace.
I only follow my wife. And actually Lubna now, because with the podcast and probably you, I think. And that's from work related, and you can tell. It's nothing more than that. And it's
did you when you first came on social media?
I never have.
No?
You would have never seen me ever follow FHM girls. It's that never.
Really? You just used to go straight to the message?
No. I'm a Muslim. I practice my religion to the extent that I can, and for me, even if you were to do sins, I think I'd be ashamed to be public about it.
Yeah, exactly.
As I'm like, you'd be ashamed. Everything's for privacy. These women, like you said, they're proud of showing booty. A man, like, men have always been, okay, like you said, through society, like our dads came as freshies on the boats to the UK, saw a white girl, blonde hair, they're probably perved into strip clubs, but it wasn't you don't share it, it's just like a thing you do. But women now, making it a public thing is like we're celebrating porn in a way which was out, like it was seen as shameful only a few years ago. So that's what's...
Well, yeah, I don't want to take responsibility away from men, but women have always been the gatekeepers. Men have always been men. I think if you look at any period of history in any part of the world, no matter what the culture, if men had unlimited access to sex, they'd take it. I think it's biological for men to be that way and try and reproduce as many women as possible. I think that women have always been the gatekeepers. They've always been the ones who are saying no. And if women break down the gates and no longer say no, then they're going to have promiscuous societies in godless cities like Miami, like I just described. And I agree with
And so this is the reason why they're canceling him, right? It's because, you know, the anti-speech of promiscuity. If I said that right. I did say it right. But being promiscuous as a person, as a woman or whatever. Speaking against it. When there's so many people who are influencers that are pushing it. You know what I mean? And it's absolutely correct. Because, like, what society would you want to live in if it's a free-for-all? For everybody, there is no boundaries or standards. You know what I'm saying? Like, what would society look like in that way? And what benefits would come from it? How beneficial would that be to anyone on the planet, right? If the society is just a free-for-all, do what I will, has an Aleister Crowley mentality. You know what I mean? How? With no basic morality. Now this guy here, Andrew Tate, he used to be an atheist. You know, he's a practicing, I believe, Muslim. You know, just based on an obvious push to not keep your particular faith and belief system. And that's very obvious that they would push that. Like, they would encourage you to not have any morals, any standards, any boundaries, things like that. Like, when you go to a religious belief system, right? I'm not saying that you gotta be this type of person, right? I'm just saying once you have a structure, right? Or somebody you have to answer to hold you accountable. Accountability is the thing that's going to keep you in morality, right? To keep your morals straight. Because if you feel as though you've done something and it would result in ultimate consequence coming from the Most High, then it would refrain you from doing a lot of harm to people in the world. But if you don't have that fear, then you are out here causing and wreaking havoc, right? But even if you feel like, okay, well, the Bible is a bunch of bullshit. If you take a moment to actually read and study the Bible for just knowledge purposes, not just because, you know, there's a religious belief attached to it, it has a lot of information in it that teaches you how to be a great person or a decent human being on this earth. It teaches you how to have great dietary standards to be sure that you're not, you don't have a bunch of parasites in your body coming from pork or coming from shellfish and things like that gives you these issues, but to keep you in a more healthy lifestyle. It teaches you different aspects about life that would benefit your life, like, in a tremendous way. How to have a moral compass, things like that. How to treat your elders, how to treat your loved ones, how to treat your spouse. It teaches you about a lot of those things. And even if you don't believe in a higher power, you still can believe in knowledge. You believe in science, right? Well, that's knowledge. Science is knowledge. The book has knowledge in it. And it is everything that's within it that teaches you how to live in this world, right, is accurate and it's true, and it's been proven by science to be true. So, you can just take that as a book that teaches you how to walk in a straight line. So, yeah.
With you in terms of them deliberately trying to destroy the family home. They are doing that. Part of it's for consumerism, because they want consumerism to be our gods. That's absolutely part of it. But another reason is, I think a lot of the plans that people have who are in charge of the world across the next 100 years are truly draconian, and they're truly evil and the things they're going to plan to do to people and the lives we're going to be forced to live. And if you destroy the family unit, if you destroy the idea of standing up, the problem is if a man has a family, he'll die for it. If a man's woman doesn't listen to him, his kids he doesn't talk to, when they come along with these draconian rules and bullshit, you're kind of like, oh, whatever. I'll just move country, or I'll just leave it, or I don't care, right? They're trying to destroy the resistance and the resilience amongst the population so they can make slaves of us all. And I think that the family unit is a big part of that.
And the woman,
yeah, that's right.
Woman is the best way to do it.
Well, absolutely.
Did I not just say that? I mean, come on. It's obvious, though, for those who are looking, for those who are watching, those who are paying attention. It's obvious because he's not saying nothing that's like coming out of his own brain. That's just not obvious. It's very obvious. The reason why you have the president that you have in office right now, obvious, easy to be able to do what you want if the person don't even remember what you did yesterday or what he ate yesterday or remember not to take a shit on himself. It's so easy to be able to control a society who thinks they're in control. If you believe that you have control, you believe that you're in control, it's so easy to control you. It's so easy to feed you just BS. Because you think that you're the one who's picking. You're not picking. The reason why they tried to assassinate Trump not long ago. Because if he gets office, if he takes that position, then he's not going to be so easy to control. Has his own money, can make his own decisions, doesn't need them for nothing. The only thing that's left to do is to murder him. They already done took him to court. He's still running for presidency. They already took him to court and sued him. Tried to lock him up, throw him in federal prison. That didn't work. So what's the next step? Assassination. Kill him. That didn't work. So what's next? If they don't take him out soon enough, he's gonna win this presidency for the election. I'm pretty certain, unless somebody jumps in the way and interferes. So
absolutely, because if you have a woman who's truly ride or die, truly by your side, and kids who truly love you, you're going to stand on that porch with a shotgun and say, "No, you're not coming in this house."
Not only that, right? If you have a family that truly loves you, truly ride or die, truly supports you, it's easier for you to make sound decisions as the head of that home. And to keep that home afloat and to make just great decisions.
It's time for me to get set up for therapy, and I use this room as my
structure as a whole. And so that's what that is, period. A man has to be able to be focused, right? And then so in his focus, he can be able to steer the ship and guide the family the way it is needed. And that just stems from the woman being in line, being in order, down to the children being in line and being in order. You know, honor, respect, integrity, keeping that and keeping it in the forefront is something that's extremely important to do. And to not do it is detrimental to not only your health, but also to the family's health and safety and stability. Because if this man is feeling like he's not respected and he's going out trying to, here we go. All right, we're going to do that real quick. And he's going out trying to find a level of respect, right? It's hard for him to focus on those things if he's impulsing, right, like crazy. So he buying and purchasing things off impulse because he didn't feel respected at home. He's depressed. He's down about it. He's going off of impulse. He might be moving in ways that are not beneficial to the family, just based on those reasons alone. And it's so easy for a man to move like that, right? But it's so easy for a woman to be able to help him through it, if she is focused on being sure that he can focus on the family and keeping the family stable, right? If he can focus on that and creating and what he's designed to do while she handles that back end work, then they would be a very successful family unit. Now this camera is decent, all right, but it's not gonna be acting up on me like the other one. Man, I hope y'all learned something today, because I done went through a lot of information. Listen, we've been on here for almost 3 hours, and we're gonna keep it rocking, right? Because my thing is that